for you? Make sure we get this. I'll even pin my video. Okay. Should be good. Okay, awesome. If you have your 2 blocks, you are going to set 1 block as a pillow for your head at the back of your mat, just on the lowest setting, just like this. And you're going to place your second block on the same setting, just a few inches away from that. And you're going to actually get started lying down on your back, but the back of your chest will just come onto that first block, and then your head can come onto that second block. Now, if you feel like this is too much and you want your head a little higher, then you can bring that block to the second height, and you can let your arms just drape to either side. This is like one of my favorite places to start. Also one of my favorite places to like end or just stay. Especially if you've been sitting in a chair all day, your shoulders are tight, whatever it may be, just allow the front of your body to open up here. And start to close your eyes. Take a full breath in and just feel the front side of your body expand as you inhale. Use your entire exhale to just melt into that structure underneath you. Do that a few more times. Just trace the whole inhale in. And follow the exhale all the way out. Notice any parts of the breath that might feel sticky along the way. Notice where you're still holding tension. Maybe it's in the jaw, maybe the eyebrows. Take one more big breath in right here. Fill all the way up. Maybe even open up your mouth. Just let out that nice sigh all the way until you are empty. And start to bend your knees if they aren't already there. And then just roll ever so gently over to the left. Just remove that block from underneath your heart. And then lie back down and keep your head on that block under your head, yeah. And like that little pillow. And then let your arms fall down along your sides. Let the back of your hands rest on the ground. Like you were coming into Shavasana, right? But just notice the difference. You can pause with your spine in neutral after it being in extension for a few moments of breath. Take a full inhale. Observe the exhale. One more like that. Breathe all the way in. All the way out to the bottom. Take your hands to that block under your head. You'll remove it, and I want you to place it in between your inner thighs on the skinniest edge, right? And then take your arms over your head and point your toes forward like a long body stretch here. Just pull everything apart. Take a deep breath in. And a big exhale, you empty. Reach your hands up to the sky. Start to take your arms down along your sides and plant your palms firmly on the ground. Keep that block in between your thighs, but bend your knees and plant your feet, like you're setting up for bridge. Start to press into your feet, and then right away I want you to squeeze that block in and then slowly lift your feet. It doesn't have to be 100%, it's early. But I want it to be about the back of the legs turning on here, the glutes working. Take one more inhale. And then the slow exhale returns every vertebra back to the ground. You find your seat on the earth. Do that one more time. Use the inhale to squeeze that block. Lift all the way up. The seat will rise. Stay as you breathe out. One more breath in. And then slowly you return back to the ground. Now take your legs long, but keep that block in between your thighs. I want you to press your heels forward, but feel them ground into the earth. Take a breath in to reach your hands straight up towards the sky. Your palms face one another. Now softly bend your knees just a little bit so you can press down through your heels. Now see if you can take a big breath in right here. Now use the power of your belly to press down through your heels. See if you can sit up and squeeze that block without picking your heels up off the ground. You'll reach the hands forward. Now you're sitting up. Keep squeezing that block. Reach the hands up and overhead. And then take the hands behind you. Your fingers will point out. Keep that block. Plant the feet. Lift the seat. It's a little bit different of a reverse tabletop with that activation in the legs. Take one more breath in. Can you lift the chest? Maybe even look up. And then slowly lower your seat back to the ground. You remove that block. Bring it to the front of your mat. And then just cross your right shin in front of the left. You'll sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in to reach your hands up. And just use the exhale to twist over to the right, left hand to your right knee. Keep sitting up tall. Keep your left hand where it is. Reach your right arm up. You'll face the front and cross your right arm over the left. And find that cross of the arms, but lift the chest. Think like cow pose. And then use the exhale to lean back and drop your chin towards your chest to stretch the back of your body out here. Now keep that letter X, cross the elbows. You're gonna lift the fingertips up, eagle arms. Keep sitting up tall. Take a breath in to lift the forearm. Take a breath out to tip forward. Think forearms forward beyond your legs. One more like that. Inhale, lift back up. And then exhale, tip forward and round. You'll sit back up, sweep the arms high. Big breath in, you'll reach up. And then cross the left leg in front. You're just gonna shift the leg. Take a breath in. Twist to the left. Right hand to your left knee. One breath in to sit up taller, and a breath out to deepen. You'll keep your right hand on your left knee, reach your left hand back up. Face the front, let that arm cross on top of the right. You'll keep that letter X with the arms and lift the heart. Take a big breath in, lift the chin. And then exhale, lean back. Keep hands where they are, but lean away from them. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Now keep that letter X. You're crossing the elbows. Just lift the fingers. Eagle arms. So take a breath in to lift the forearm. Take a breath out, tip forward. Think your forearms in front of your legs. One more like that. Inhale, lift back up. Use the exhale, tip forward and round in. And you'll start to unravel the arms, sweep them up. Take a big inhale, just like you did before. I want you to plant your hands behind you, plant your feet hips with distance. Even though you don't have that block, engage the legs to lift the seat. Reverse tabletop. Just one breath in to let the neck go long. And then the exhale drops you back down. You'll cross a shin in front, just enough to plant your hands in front of you. Find hands and knees, tabletop pose. Nice and easy. You'll spread the fingers really wide apart. You'll point the toes straight back and press down into the tops of the feet. Keeping that lift through the chest. Take a big breath in. And then a breath out to round into your full cat pose. And then just come back to neutral here. Start to drop to your forearms. So your right forearm will drop. Your left forearm will drop. They're parallel to the outer edges of your mat. Now lift your right leg up and back behind you, just like you would normally do in that like three-legged tabletop. I want you to press through your heel. See if you can activate the back of the right leg, the glutes a little more. And then bend that knee. Take an inhale right here. As you exhale, cross your right knee behind the left, a little tap, an internal rotation. Just crossing the thighs. Do that one more time, but straighten the leg. Take a breath in. And then exhale to bend the knee and let it cross over to the left. Now send it up and back. Take a huge inhale. Bring your right knee down to meet the left. You're staying on your forearms. I want you to press down through your hands. Lift your heart just like you would in cow pose. It might feel different. And then exhale, press into your forearms and round your upper back. Drop your head. And stay on your forearms. Come back to neutral. Engage the belly. Send the left leg behind you, but press back through the heel. Can you lift the heel a little higher? And then bend the knee, cross it behind the right. That internal rotation of the thighs. One more like that. Straighten the leg, kick it back with that length. And then exhale, bend the knee, let it cross over. You're gonna keep pressing into the elbows. Send that heel back. Drop the left knee next to the right. Now, take your knees a little bit wider, big toes together. Send your seat back, child's pose. Forehead finds the ground. Start to walk your hands over to the right. You lengthen out the left side a little more. And walk your hands back through center and over to the left. Do you feel that stretch in the right side? Bring your hands back through the middle and come up to hands and knees, tabletop pose. Bring your knees right underneath your hips. Start to lift your heart again, finding cow. And then exhaling to round into cat. Now you'll come back to neutral, a little bit different. You'll send your right leg straight back, stay in tabletop. So now you're in that three-legged tabletop. Take a breath in to broaden through the chest. Now I want you to keep that long line from your head out through your heel. You're just gonna tip it like a teeter-totter. You're gonna bend through the elbows straight back and just bow the chest. Keep that leg long. Now press back up to long arms. Tuck the right toes under. Spin the right heel down, reach the right arm up. Take a big breath in, modified side plank. And a breath out to reach the right hand forward. Reach the right hand back. Back up. And then return, tabletop pose. Leg back, press through the heel, keep that long line through, tip the chest forward, maybe lift the heel a little higher. Left toes under, spin the heel down, reach the left arm over your ear. And then you get to clown tabletop pose. This time you just tuck your toes. Press back through your heels and send your feet back so you can get a stretch through the back of the ankles, maybe through the bottom of the feet. Walk your hands towards your knees and find a forward fold at the back of your mat. You can heel toe your feet a little wider, bend your knees a lot. Maybe even just sway side to side, ragdoll pose with a bind in the arms, or let the arms hang. Heel toe your feet a little closer. Really press down through them. Find your halfway lift. Your chest goes forward. Then your big exhale to bend the knees a little more. Think belly towards your thighs and you fold. One more like that, halfway lift, big breath in, find that length. And exhale to fold and bow the chest. Sweep the arms out and up. You'll rise up, huge inhale. Bring your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes once you're here. Take this moment of pause to check in. A breath in to fill up completely. A breath out to empty completely. When you're ready, reach the arms back up. Maybe open the eyes and look up. And then exhale to fold forward. Let it be big. And your halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. Walk the hands downward facing dog, your first one. Spread the fingers really wide apart. Soft bend in the knees as you send the weight a little further towards the back of your mat. Now, like you did before, I want you to lift that right leg up and back. But now you're on just in a different shape, right? Three-legged dog rather than three-legged table. Take a big breath in right here. Now, as you exhale, just shift the heart forward, three-legged plank. Now send it up and back, three-legged dog. Start to step right foot to your right thumb. You'll drop the back knee down. You get to sweep the arms up. You rise. Right hand to your left wrist, lean over to the right. Come back through center, split the hands, look up. And then bring your hands down to frame your right foot at the top of your mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee off the ground. Spin your left heel down, open up, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, right hand will rise. Start to straighten your right leg and heel toe your back foot a little closer for support. Start to reach your right hand forward and your left hip goes back. And then you find that length, find triangle pose. So your right hand can even reach for that block, and you can bring that block behind your shin. And so your hand can rest on that block and you reach your left hand away from it. See if you can spin your chest up a little higher. Take one more inhale. Bring that block with you. Keep it in your right hand. You'll start to slowly stand all the way up. Arms out like a T. So that block is in your right hand. You're going to pick the right foot up. Let it parallel the left. Bring that block up and overhead and bring it in between your palms. You're just going to open your hands wide and press your hands, your palms into that block really firmly. You're going to keep that block right over your head. Take a big breath in. Now, as you exhale, start to bend through the elbows. Just bring that block right behind your head. See if you can squeeze the elbows in. Don't let them come out. One more like that. Lift it back up. And then exhale to bend. Now reach it back up. Stand up. Yeah, and then fold forward. Drop that block right underneath your nose. Bring both hands to it. Halfway lift. Big inhale. Bend through your left knee. Ardha Skandasana. Left knee bends. Right leg stays long. You can keep your right hand where it is. Bring your left hand to your low back. So take a huge inhale to lengthen through the crown of the head. And then the exhale takes your gaze to the left. A little twist. One more inhale right here. Drop your left hand to that block. Bring it with you back to the front of your mat. Frame your right foot at the top of your mat. Now bring that block underneath your left hand. Reach your right hand forward. Reach your right hand up to the sky. Open arm twist. One more breath in. Reach your right hand back forward. Let it come outside the foot. Drop the left knee down. You can move that block back to the front. Sweep the arms up. Big breath in right here. And just like before, right hand to your left wrist, you get to lean over to the right. Now come back up through center. See if you can press down through your left knee just to pick that right foot up and let your right knee come to meet the left. Take a breath in, reach the hands up. And a breath out to tip that structure back and reach your hands forward. Rise back up, big breath in. Plant the hands, find plank pose. Tucking the toes. One breath in to squeeze the legs, broaden through the chest. Use the exhale to lower all the way down to the ground. Take your hands out wide, tent them, lift the chest. It's cobra pose. And exhale to lower, find the earth. You can do that one more time. Lift back up, huge inhale. And exhale, you lower. Hands underneath your shoulders, press through child's pose, hips back towards your heels. And when you're ready, downward facing dog, hips up and back behind you. Softening through the knees, take a big breath in to fill up. Big exhale to empty. You'll reach the left leg up and back, press through the heel. Shift forward, just three-legged plank. Now send the left leg up and back. Left foot to your left thumb. Drop the right knee down, sweep arms high, big breath in, rise up. Left hand to your right wrist this time and you lean over to the left. Come back up, split the hands. Take them down to frame your left foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Spin your right heel down. You get to open up to warrior two. Now stay low in this warrior two just for a moment. And then reverse your warrior. Your left hand will rise this time. Straighten your left leg. Now you get to heel toe your right foot closer, shorten your stance. To tip your chest forward, you can grab for that block. Take it to that highest setting behind your shin. Land lightly on it with the hand and reach your right hand away from it. See if you can stack the shoulders. And can you start to spin your left ribs forward slightly? Keep that block in your left hand. Slowly rise all the way up. Arms out like a T. Pick the left toes up, let them parallel the right. And just like you did before, bring your hands to sandwich that block. Press the palms into that block. Reach it up and overhead. Keep standing here, strong in the legs. You'll take that breath in to reach up higher. Bring that block higher. And as you exhale, bend through the elbows. Send that block right behind your head. Can you drive the elbows in a little more? Send it up on the inhale. Just one more time. Keep squeezing that block. Send it behind your head. And then you'll lift it back up. Start to fold forward with it. Bring it underneath your nose. Hands to that block, halfway lift. Keep your chest parallel to the ground. Now it's your right knee that bends. It's your Ardha Skandasana. Your left leg stays long. Keep your left hand on that block. Bring right hand to your low back. Take a breath in to find length through the crown of your head. And then an exhale to look over to the right. Start to bring your right hand back down. Straighten the right leg and bring the block with you. Frame your left foot. That block will stay underneath your right hand. Reach the left hand forward and then reach up to the sky. So just a nice easy twist over to the left. Can you let that right thigh be so active it picks up off the ground a little more? And start to reach your left hand back forward. Frame that left foot. You can move the block. Drop that right knee. Sweep the arms back up, just like you did before. You rise. Left hand to your right wrist. Lean over to the left. And then coming back up, split the hands. See if you can press down into that right knee to just pick the left foot up and bring the left knee to meet the right. Reach up, one breath in. Tip back, one breath out. Reach back up. Find tabletop pose this time. Now, our peak pose here that we're like working a little bit towards, right, bringing more strength, more length, is dolphin. So you're going to drop your right forearm, drop your left forearm. Now make sure your forearms are parallel to the outer edges of your mat. Spread the fingers wide, palms face down. Now often your palms want to come in during this pose. I'll encourage you to keep them so your wrists are parallel to the front of your mat. Start to tuck your toes under. Now you might stay here or actively press down into the elbows. Think about almost lifting the back of the heart. Keep the shoulders strong. Maybe start to lift your seat. So it's almost like you're in down dog, but on your forearms. And you can even drop your head, look in between your big toes. And if your hamstrings are talking to you, bend your knees. Maybe you walk your toes a little bit closer towards your nose. Hold it for 3. Find your breath in this challenge 2. Last 1. Drop your knees, big toes together, arms down along your sides, child's pose. And you can rock your head side to side. Close your eyes. And as you slowly start to come up, grab your block, either one that's close by or at the front. And you're just going to place it in between your feet. I like the medium setting, but we're all built differently. So you can just find a seat where you feel nice and supported and elevated and bring your hands to the top of your thighs. Take a moment to just sit up a little bit taller as you inhale through the nose. Open up your mouth, maybe let out that sigh as you empty. One more like that, big breath in for 3, 2, 1. And then that slow exhale to let the breath go. You settle and you soften. Staying in stillness if this is exactly what you need. Or if you'd like a little bit more heart opening after all of that work, just take a moment to shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Let them drop back and down. And do that one more time. Draw them up. Draw them back. And draw them down. Take your arms out like a T. And then start to bring your thumbs to face down so your palms face back behind you. Take your arms down along your sides and then press back through the palms. Bend at the elbows. Interlace the hands, maybe press the palms together with the thumbs on your low back or your sacrum. Now, this might be enough for you to feel that stretch across the chest. If you want a little bit more with that bind, you can straighten the arms. Take one more big breath in. A big breath out. And you'll just release that bind ever so gently. And then coming into rabbit pose, something different. So the crown of your head will start to, it's almost like child's pose, but the crown of your your head starts to come once you eat up. So not a whole, lean the back of the heart forward on that block. Hands on your thighs. Sit up tall. Take a big breath in. Again, open your mouth. Let it go. Close your eyes. Drop your chin to the center of your chest. Roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Pause. Chin back to the center of your chest. And left ear to your left shoulder. And pause. Chin back through center and then lift your head. Now, one more option for the neck here. You can take your hands behind you, just like you did before. Start to interlace your fingers, and you'll take that bind this time over to your right hip. Just gonna like snug it right over so you can really feel your left forearm pressing into your low back, and you have a place of reference where you can press into your left palm to keep it there. Sit up tall, take a big breath in. Now, as you empty, slowly drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. And if you need any other movement here, maybe you drop the chin towards the chest. Maybe you roll it away and up towards the sky. Just take about 3 to 5 rounds of breath, exploring this stretch with a little of a self-assist here. And when you feel complete with that side, start to roll chin to your chest, lift the crown of the head back up, and then you'll switch sides. So take that clasp over to the left hip. Once you have it, you can keep the hands interlaced or press the left palm into the right. Sit up tall. And you get to drop your left ear closer to your left shoulder. Maybe this is where you pause and you stay. Or if you'd like a little more movement, just get inquisitive. Slow, subtle, controlled movements to create a little more space that might have felt stagnant or stuck prior to. About 3 to 5 more rounds, wherever you are. And you can release the arms when you're ready again. One last time to just place your hands on your palms, sit up tall. Notice if you created space with just that movement, more freedom in the neck. Take a breath in to notice it. Open up your mouth. And whenever you're ready, you'll just move that block out from underneath you. Take it off to the side, have it nearby. You're gonna sit and just swing your legs out in front of you towards the front of your mat. Give them a little bit of a shake. And take the soles of your feet together, your knees out wide, heels as close as you want them to be. But just find your ankles, the bottom of your feet, or even your shins to sit up tall. Take that big breath in. And then just hinge at the hips. Elbows can go wide to fold forward here. Or just an easy Baddha Konasana. You'll slowly come back up. Keep the left knee bent, right leg goes long, so the sole of your right foot comes to your inner right thigh. Reach your hands up, take a big inhale. Start to just turn your navel towards your toes and just fold towards that space. You'll rise back up. Left hand behind your seat. Coming onto that left knee, the shin, the right leg stays long, reach away from it. Maybe even lift the chest up. Then you'll slowly come back down and switch legs. Left leg long, right foot to your inner left thigh. Reach your hands high. Turn your chest towards your toes and just fold towards that space. And then reaching back up. Right hand comes behind your seat. Onto your right knee, your shin, your left leg stays long. Reach away from your left foot. And then you'll slowly come back to the ground. And then take your block. You're going to place it in between your thighs, just like you had it before. So just basically coming back the way we came up. So reach your hands forward, bend your knees a little more so you can keep your heels grounded on your mat. See if you can sit up even taller. And then think one vertebra at a time without letting the heels lift up off the mat. Can you slowly find the ground? And take your arms down along your sides. Keep that block in between your thighs. Plant your feet. One bridge pose. You'll lift your feet up. Keep that space in the neck so the gaze goes straight up. Back of your head stays on the ground. Hold it for 3. 2. Last one. You slowly return to the ground. And just bring that block next to you where it's still in reach. You use it one more time. But take constructive rest. So heel toe your feet a little wider and knock your knees together. Finding that internal rotation again of the thighs. Bring your hands on top of your belly. Close your eyes. A breath in to fill up. And a breath out to land. And start to split your knees a little wider apart. Let both knees just fall over to the right. Just an easy twist here. And bring both knees back through center. Let them fall over to the left. And then bring the knees back through center. You'll reset the feet, so heel toe them a little closer. Press down through them and just lift your seat, slide that block underneath your sacrum. And just that supported inversion to get your hips a little higher than your heart. You'll lift your feet up, but keep your low back supported on that block. Arms down along your sides. Close your eyes. Soften your knees if you need to. Notice where your mind wants to go. See if you can stay here just for 5. Last 4. Last 3. 2. And 1. Start to bend the knees enough to just let the heels hover by the seat. And then let your feet find the ground. You'll pick your seat up, slide that block out from underneath you. Let the legs go long. Let the arms go long. Palms flip up. Close your eyes. Your final rest, your Savasana. Let the shifts happen. There's one thing we can count on. Just as nature shifts and moves into new shapes and forms, so do we. Sometimes our shifts happen suddenly. Other times they take place over years, beginning almost as if we move into increased self-awareness. We will become more aware of these shifts. We'll know, see, and feel when they're taking place. We may not know where they're leading, but we'll know something's afoot. The more we value and trust life, the more we can count on these shifts to lead us forward and trust the new shape being formed in our lives. The more flexible we become, the more we allow for these shifts and work with them and instead of against them, the easier they will be. Life is always moving, changing, shifting into its next shape. The movement is natural. It's how we evolve. So let the shifts happen. Take responsibility for yourself each step of the way and trust the new shape and form of your world. Allow your next breath to be just a little bit bigger. And send your breath to your fingers and all the way down to your toes. And then in your own time, over your next few breaths, finding any other movement that allows you to bring yourself up to a seat. And once you're there, slowly start to bring your hands together right in front of your heart. Slightly bow your chin towards that space. Maybe you notice what has shifted. Maybe it's physically, maybe it's energetically, maybe it's even just in your mind and how you react to it. Take a big breath in, a long breath out. And bring your thumb tips to the center of your forehead, remembering to be kind to yourself. You can share that kindness with others. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining.